Hey there, welcome to the Podcast Forecast, your guide to the current podcast climate and hottest trends. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking for an additional stream of revenue or a creator wanting to expand your platform, I'm here to help you weather that storm and produce a podcast that raises the temp on your success. Hey, I'm Podcast Nate, and I took my first podcast from launch to the top 3% globally in the first 90 days, and I'm here to coach you through the same rain or shine. Let's check the forecast. Welcome back to the Podcast Forecast. We are here with a friend of mine and a fellow producer and podcast enthusiast, Brooke Robichaud. Hey, Brooke, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Nate?
Great. I love how our relationship has just kind of blossomed and taken different roads. And it's like your classic, we've never met in person. We've met through the power of social media and podcasting and sobriety and all these different avenues. But we've made our way here to the Podcast Forecast to discuss podcasting and trends and your favorite shows. So I'm just so happy that we got to meet and, been through these different experiences together. It's pretty cool.
Oh, 100%. And actually, that's something we'll get into later. But podcasting has been an amazing way to network and to meet new people and social media. But really, this is giving me the chance to get to know people on such a deep level. And you being one of them, I loved having your story on the Sober Biz Babe podcast and just like, we chat so much about business and all this stuff, but then you get really deep with someone. I'm like, I had no idea you went through that,
I know.
Steven, I had no idea you were ever capable of anything.
Podcasting, it's so unique. It has this marketing and ability to drive revenue and business growth, but then it is also this deeply personal side where people are just being vulnerable and sharing a side to themselves that other sort of online or content creation doesn't necessarily have. And I think that's one of the things that I love most about it.
I think YouTube kind of started that trend and got us with more long-term content, getting to know people. But the problem with YouTube is the data consumption it takes up on your phone is intense.
Yes.
And as a mom, like I have no time to sit down and watch an hour video of two people talking.
It's crazy.
But I can listen to an audio while I'm driving, while I'm doing my dishes, while I'm working. And it's like my favorite way to consume any media is through podcasting.
It's so easy too.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, that's a great segue. I wanted to start with your own podcasting journey. I know that you had the chance to be formally educated on some video and audio production side of things, and that sort of kicked things off, and you've had a few shows on the air. So let's talk a bit about your own podcasting journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Before podcasting was a thing, I actually got to go to film school and learn documentary filmmaking. So that's kind of where I got my love of all this like techie digital media stuff. Actually, in grade 7, I was sent to IBM's Women in Technology conference, and I got to learn how to code and like make a website in like 1999.
You're like legit. Yeah. That is truly before podcasting was a thing, right?
Yeah. And I just really liked creating things and learning about this digital space and what is possible and how I could do things. And I learned how to like download Adobe for free in like high school. And I made videos on Windows Movie Maker with my little brothers. We had like a news show, and I would always pretend I'd have a radio show with my little
Me
like
too.
yeah.
Like my dream job has always been a talk show host, and like it sparked with the trashy like 90s Phil Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael, but
thank you, Phil Donahue.
I saw it on Oprah.
It literally now has manifested itself into legit being behind a microphone and asking people about their personal lives.
I feel like the world has evolved into something where it's like I get to live out all of my childhood fantasies in like an instant. It's so easy to learn how to do anything. I've been able to publish a book, start a podcast, have like a little TV series, web series sort of thing. Now TikTok's come out, and like all of the crazy little parodies I've written and like dances that me and my girlfriends used to make up. Like, it's
a dance routine in the living room. Oh.
Like I just get to live out all of my childhood fantasies as an adult now, and it's fantastic.
It is.
But yeah, so I would make little fake news shows and stuff as a kid, and then addiction stuff took over my life and I put a lot of this stuff down. I would still make videos sometimes online, but they were not very appropriate or ones that I would
Yeah.
like to share. I had one video go viral on YouTube. Do you remember Jenna Marbles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she did this video where she was like making fun of trying to make yourself look hot. Like it was her first viral video or whatever, right? And so I kind of copied her style and I made one about like how to not look fat on a webcam.
Oh, actually, that's pretty clever.
Hey, what's wrong with your webcam?
Yeah, and it went pretty good. I had like a writer for the Chelsea Lately show get in contact with
No
me to ask if I
way.
had any more stuff, but I had no idea what I was doing, and I just kind of
Yeah.
clammed up and was like, I don't know how to deal with attention. And
Right.
there was this desire. I loved creating things. I liked creating funny skits. I was on the improv team in high school, and I wanted to put myself out there. So when podcasting became a thing,
Yeah.
I had just gotten sober. And I started a podcast called the Total Transformation Tribe.
Love
And I
the
think I had
alliteration.
4 episodes. And what I was doing was just trying to figure out how to do this thing. And I wanted to like share my story and start marketing myself a little bit with this health and wellness business. And I started this podcast and it didn't really go anywhere. But through that, me and a friend started something called Gym and Juice Thursdays. And we did like a
God, your
Facebook.
clever titles. I love them.
And we did a Facebook Live every Thursday and just, I started getting practice basically. So 2019, I ended up pregnant with my daughter. I just gotten married. I was like on top of the world. I had lost all this weight. I felt really, really good in my skin. I felt like confident and, I had dealt with an eating disorder, but I was getting over that. And I was like whole food vegan and my body felt great. My mind felt great. And then I got pregnant and I got really depressed. I gained a lot of weight. I started eating to like deal with my feelings. And I was also terrified I wasn't going to eat enough to like fuel my baby growing. And so I used food as comfort and gained all the weight. And then I stopped feeling like I had purpose because my whole purpose up to this point was like helping people get healthy, helping them get sober, helping them change their lives, lose weight, get healthy. And I can't do that if I'm in this body and I'm
Right.
not healthy. And I was really depressed and felt like I was right back to where I was when I was drinking. Like, this is why I used to drink, is because I used to feel like this, right? And I started praying and I'm like, I need a purpose. I need something in my life.
Somebody help me!
And I heard like I don't know, crazy person, like words coming out saying "Your story, my glory," and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? So I told one of my supports about it, and I was like, hey, like I just got this kind of vision, this audio thing, like I don't know what this is, but I feel like I'm meant to share my story. And they wanted to be a part of it. So we got together and we started the Seek Purpose podcast, and we started sharing stories of transformation and growth and healing and recovery. And the pandemic was taking a toll on everyone, and having a relationship with a business partner and all that kind of stuff became really difficult. It was
Yeah.
just a completely intense time. So we broke off the podcast and I started just helping other people with their shows and helping them get started and taking everything I learned with all these different things I've done in my life. I've had a thrift shop. I've done all these shows. I wrote a children's book and self-published it. And I just like done all of these little things throughout my life that I learned a lot through. And so I was able to help other people now, share their stories, help them help people by helping them launch their websites and like have a place where people can book them for like sessions and all this kind of stuff. So I found that I was more valuable behind the scenes at that point because I just felt so like I needed to heal and I needed to kind of take a step back from being front and center. And I've tried to have my own show going, but I'm telling you, like having clients to manage and help and support, my stuff always takes a back seat. So that has been a struggle. Like we stop and start the Sober Biz Babe podcast a lot. I feel like it is like a passion project that I show up when I'm feeling inspired. And then I don't when I'm not. And that is not good advice for a podcast.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's where I feel like my journey is currently. Where is that balance of, helping others to find their voice and then help others? Because, the branches of the tree, it's very fulfilling to be able to sort of pay it forward and help, that sort of snowball effect. But it's also good for business and good for my mindset to be able to get out my creative juices as well. So let's find that line together, I guess, if we're still both seeking it and want to have that balance. Today's episode of the podcast Forecast is brought to you in part by StreamYard. StreamYard has everything you need to create a branded experience with your content. Logos, brand colors, music, overlays, cool transitions, and more. Say goodbye to willy-nilly Wi-Fi connections. StreamYard uses live, local recordings, so no matter what kind of connection you or your guest has, you're getting studio-quality video and audio for your podcast recording. Click the link in today's show notes for $10 off any package when you subscribe to StreamYard today.